Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back. Kevin McCullough, glad to have you with us. It's That Kevin Show. And we started telling you last week about a tremendous partnership with my new sponsor, Movement Mortgage. And there's a lot of reasons why I want you to know what they're doing. But more than anything, I want you to know how it can help you. And that is why I've asked Harlan Accola to be back with us today. Harlan, it's good to see you.
Great to be here. Thank you, Kevin.
Let's talk about interest rates. We're at the end of the year. There's a new administration coming into town, and there's a lot of speculation about what that means to mortgage rates.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that people are going to have to get used to higher interest rates for a longer period of time. We don't anticipate, although things can always change, we don't anticipate things changing very much throughout most of 2025. And I've had all kinds of clients call and say, hey, the interest rates went down last week. The problem is that whenever the Federal Reserve comes out, the expectation of what they were going to do has already been factored into interest rates. So interest rates actually went up a little bit because he basically said, you get a cut in December and you're not getting any next year. And didn't say it exactly that way, but that was kind of the scenario because they do anticipate a little bit of inflation. So we don't see a major change in interest rates. And it's kind of, you want to make decisions based on what they are now because they probably are not going to go down much for next year. Now
So
that I've said that, they probably will.
Well, let me ask a very practical question off of that because I'm the ultimate pragmatist. If we're trying to get a hold of our finances and our financial planning, and we want to be good stewards of what we're doing, if mortgage rates aren't improving, then there may not, I mean, getting a new mortgage may be not the answer. And in fact, keeping the mortgage you have may not be the answer. So if now was the time to take a fresh look at what's called a reverse mortgage, what would you advise people?
Well, if you're on let's go to the forward side first. If you're looking at delaying buying a home because interest rates are high, you shouldn't, because all you're going to do is continue paying somebody else's mortgage. If you've already got to my age bracket and you've got a little gray hair and you're over 62, it is very important to understand that interest rates are not going to go down. Your payment's not going to go down. And there was just a new study that came out last week that says over 50% of people my age, age that you're getting to in a few years, are still making a mortgage payment. The danger of making a mortgage payment. When my dad retired in 1981, less than 10%, I think it was 5% of the people had a mortgage payment. Now, more than 50% do. That is not a wise thing from a stewardship standpoint. What happens if you pass away and you leave behind your spouse with this mortgage payment that was easy to make when there was two of you, not so much when there's one of you. And so the number of people that are still making mortgage payments, once they've reached the age of 62, when they can reverse their mortgage and make their mortgage payment optional, if you want to make a mortgage payment, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to, is the wisest thing to do and also the smartest thing to do from a stewardship standpoint. Way too few people are looking at that option, and they continue making the mortgage payment because that's the way they have always done it, and they're just used to doing it that way.
Well, I want to give people an opportunity to respond and get some of your resources for this. And friends, if you want to call Harlan directly, his number is 209-702-0007, 209-702-0007. And there's also a website that you can just click on and request information, and they'll send it to you as well. And it's easy to remember, thathomecash.com, thathomecash.com. And you just put in your info and they'll send you information that Harlan's talking about today. But Harlan, I want you to break it down for us a little bit more, because the statistic you just gave is, I think it should light people's hair on fire. I don't have a lot left, so I can't say it would light mine on fire. But to know that in one generation, from your parents to you, that the number of people, the percentage of people that are still making mortgage payments after age 62 is astounding. And what you're actually telling us is that this little tool, this financial tool, a reverse mortgage, would change the game plan for them in a big time way. Can you walk through the practicality of how that works?
Yeah, so think about it this way, Kevin. For years and years and years, you put money into Social Security, you put money into your IRAs, you put money into all of these different sacks, so to speak, of money that you're going to need in the future. People have also put thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands in many cases into their home. All a reverse mortgage does is once you get past the 50% equity scenario in your house, and you have just talked to somebody this morning, they got a $500,000 house and they owe $120,000. They've been making mortgage payments for the last 5 years that they don't have to make. They've already reached the required amount. So once you get past that 50% equity standpoint, and once you are over the age of 62, you can reverse your mortgage and make all your payments optional. Can make payments if you wish, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Everybody is used to a forward mortgage that requires payments for 15 years, 30 years, 20 years, whatever time you have left in your mortgage. But with a reverse mortgage, we simply say, hey, if you want to send in a payment, that's great. And if you don't want to, we'll just put it on the tab and you can pay for it a year after you're dead, or at any point along the way when you want to make a payment, but not when you have to. And life happens in retirement.
Right.
And a lot of people end up retiring, not being in a situation where they can afford to make a payment. And even if you can afford to make a payment, isn't there more fun things to do? Like go on vacation with your kids, or maybe get that car that you really wanted for a long time, whatever the situation, or give more money to your kids, your grandkids, or the causes that you believe in. Way too many people are sending money when they are no longer required to do that, and it's simply a mistake. And most people just don't know. They should just check into it.
I'm gonna guarantee you that there's a whole bunch of people hearing us say that for the first time, and they've never even heard that concept. You never have to pay your mortgage payment again. That's rattling around in their head right now because it's still reverberating. And friend, I just would encourage you, as you're listening, if you want more information, Harlan's team is the very best in the entire business at this. And by the way, there's all kinds of info about reverse mortgages. Some of it's good, some of it's not good. Some of it's false, some of it's true. If you want to know the truth, I know and trust the Movement Mortgage people. I've known Harlan now for a good little period. I'm telling you, these people are going to take good care of you, and you're going to be glad that you reached out to them. The number is 209-702-0007, 209-702-0007, 209-702-0007, or go to thathomecash.com.
Ready or not, we'll be right back.